and that one got cut off. That's the second time that's happened this week. Didn't run out of space. The phone got too hot and shut down the camera application, video recording application. So, oh, homeless guy camping underneath the bridge right there. Good for him. At least he found a way out of the heat. Anyway, I was trying to explain what happened with one wedding that I DJed that turned very sour. It was down in Florence, and so I told the woman that was emceeing, very specifically told her that, you know, this mic needs to stay in your hand. It is only for you to MC on. When you hand a mic out to the singer, you hand them this mic. And I was very specific on that. Pretty simple directions. And she kept handing her mic out to the singers, which of course put me in a situation where I had a singer that I couldn't do. I didn't have so much control over their levels, and I couldn't give them any kind of vocal effects. And I told her repeatedly. And then, of course, I was pointing at, you know, where the microphones were so she would understand which mics I was talking about, which people I was talking about. And she got so upset of like, don't be pointing at me. Be handing my mics out to the wrong mics out. I've asked you repeatedly not to do this. But apparently that made me the asshole. I was the bad guy, and it was so egregious that they ended up having me just stop, and then somebody else I couldn't believe this. They actually had another full DJ system inside the closet at the bar, and somebody's at the ready to run it, and they sent me home and had him come in. I ended up having to go through pretty much hell just to even get any kind of payment on that one, which was, you know, doubly egregious. Not only did it take a bunch of my time, but I drove all the way to Florence from Tempe for it. So yeah, that was, you know, and of course it also resulted in me getting fired from the bar, even though technically I don't think I was getting paid by the bar for that one. I think it was getting paid by the couple for doing their wedding, and the bar was just, you know, allowing it to take place there. It ended up, like, the whole thing was just a bad scenario, and ended up losing the bar gig, which prior to that point had been going well, losing the bar gig over it. So yeah, I've got reasons for not liking to do weddings. I don't understand why she was so bent about pointing. I mean, I'm Italian. It's my heritage to talk with my hands. Anyway, so was that. There was some other notable issue that went down there as well. I don't know. That was the big one. I was so upset I was pointing, and I was so upset because she kept handing the wrong mic out, and you know, handing the mic I needed her to stay on out to singers, and not retaining the mic that I gave to her. I mean, I've only got so many mics, and I've only got so many inputs on my mixers, and I've only got one effects processor. So, you know, please follow. If you're working with me on this, follow my directions. They're pretty simple. They're pretty clearly and explicitly laid out. God, I remember there was some other issue with that wedding as well. Now I can't. Oh, that's right. I was talking about not letting somebody sing a song. So there were families at this, because it was a wedding, and it was in a bar. There were families there, and there were children there. And generally speaking, all the versions that I have for karaoke are explicit versions, because I generally work in bars, exclusively in bars. And I'm also of the opinion that taking an explicit song and blanking out a couple of the words on the screen doesn't not make it an explicit song, especially in the instance of karaoke. You know, just because the F word is not displayed in text on the screen doesn't stop them from saying the F word on the mic, and it doesn't change the fact that everybody knows that song, knows that there's an F word there, and probably you can figure out, even if you don't know the song, what song fits the context of the lyric that rhymes with luck. You'll probably be able to fix that out. So yeah, I don't really mess with clean versions of karaoke unless it's all I can find for that given song. You know, because if a song is inappropriate, it's inappropriate. You know, so that said, I mean, since there were families there and there were children there, I wasn't even letting adults sing songs that were, highly suggestive or explicit. And then, in the midst of all of this, refreshing to see people actually pulling over for emergency vehicles. Phoenicians don't like to do that. This boy must have been, I would guess, probably about 10 years old, maybe 11 years old, comes up to me, and he's written down he wants to sing Because I Got High by Afro Man, which is a very extremely explicit song. And whatever his parents let him listen to at 10 years old, hey, not my kid, not my problem. But in the context of my karaoke show where there's other kids listening, I certainly wouldn't let my kid sing a song like that. And as a parent, I'm making an effort not to play that song in Lily's presence. Maybe which is a couple years older, but certainly not right now. I mean, that kind of reminds me of one time I was, she was only maybe about 2 years old. Oh yeah, and I'm back here because I forgot to drop something off. She's maybe only about 2 years old, and I wasn't really that concerned about explicit content because I didn't think she really understood anything. It's just the innocence of childhood. And at one point, I'm playing Too Close by Next on one of my mixtapes, and it never really struck me how explicit that song is until I heard the lyrics coming out of my 2-year-old daughter, and then it was like, oh wow. Yeah, she's at that age. I need to not be playing this with her in the car. Oh, bad dad. So anyway, yeah, that happened. So anyway, back to this kid. He's like 10 years old, wants to sing Because I Got High. I mean, and for those of you who are not familiar with the song, like one of the lines in the song, and mind you, it's not the only such explicit line in the song, is there's the whole song is about getting high, which is not great context for a 10-year-old boy to be singing anyway. But there's a line that says, I was gonna make love to you, but I was high. I was gonna eat your pussy too, but I was high. And now I'm jacking off, and I know why. Hey, hey, because I'm high, because I'm high, because I'm high. Yeah, just didn't seem like it would be a responsible thing for me to facilitate a 10-year-old boy at a family wedding where there's a lot of other children as well as, elderly people that don't go to uncensored bar karaoke shows present. Yeah, it just didn't feel right, facilitating a 10-year-old boy singing that. So I told him that now he wouldn't be able to sing that. Now, one thing that was different then, well, I guess not so different. It's not like I have a censored version of my online book either. But back then I had physical books. Physical printed books. So of course the kid was like, well, it's in the book. Why can't I sing it? It's in the book. That kid's belligerent as fuck. So much for, respecting adults and elders, right? That seems to be something generally lost in society as well. So anyway, the kid is, I don't know, I can't. I said, you know what? Why don't you go ask your parents why it's inappropriate for you to sing that song here? Or what? I think I said something along those lines. I think you should go ask your parents why it's inappropriate for you to sing. I said, because it's inappropriate. He goes, why? I said, well, I think you should ask your parents why it's inappropriate for you to sing that. And my reasoning was that either one of two things were going to happen. One or two things I expected to happen. Either A, the kid would be smart enough to realize that yeah, that's an inappropriate song for kids to be singing, and probably was in his best interest not to talk to his mom about it. So it would just be a done deal. He would just go play with other kids and quit being my problem. Or on the other hand, he might seriously not understand what was inappropriate about it, and go ask his parents. Hopefully his parents will be young enough to understand, young enough to, or be familiar with the song. Or I guess this was before everybody could just look up lyrics to a song on their smartphone. But anyway, hopefully they'd be familiar with the song, or at least look at the title of "Because I Got High" and realize, yeah, this is not an appropriate song for a child to be singing in a family type gathering. And just tell him, yeah, no, why are you trying to sing that? What are you thinking? And maybe give the child some much needed parental discretion, But instead, like minutes later, I've got the child's mother all up in my grill, pissed off at me because I won't let her kid sing. I'm like, I'm just like, wow. Now I have to explain to an adult that is a parent why this is inappropriate. Wow. Just wow. And I don't think I can't remember if I went ahead and just let the kid do it at the parent's insistence, or it's like, well, whatever, you're the responsible adult here, so can't really protect you from your own bad parenting, so here we go. Or if it was, or if I held fast on, yeah, this is inappropriate, and wow, you're a god-awful parent for not understanding that. I'm not sure which route I took on it, but I do recall whenever I did it, her parent was horribly pissed off about it, which just blew my mind. I know I would certainly be, if Lily at 11 years old had done that and then came back to me and showed me the slip, saying, Daddy, you won't let me sing this song, I would have been thankful for that. But I guess not everybody has the same, morals when it comes to parenting. So, and on that note, I'm sure there's plenty of things I do with my kids that other parents find absolutely abhorrent. So, c'est la vie. Anyway, I'm being very productive today. Just tired. Slept in. Slept alone again. There's been a lot of that lately. And I don't really want to dive into that subject too much, but suffice it to say that for somebody that's in a long-term relationships, I sure am spending a lot of nights alone, and I'm not really happy about it. So I'm now on my way to I don't think I said day and date, because I know there's a lag between when I actually get these posted. It's Sunday afternoon. Damn, I forget the date, but second weekend in July 2021. It's about 1:40 Sunday afternoon. Yeah, the the wedding I did was yesterday, and I don't have anything else I really am supposed to do until Bullock's Karaoke this coming Thursday. Still no word from VIP Taxi as to whether or not they're going to retain me as a driver, but I'm kind of expecting that they're not going to. So, c'est la vie, easy come, easy go. I had a lot of fun being a cab driver again. And I made a surprisingly large amount of money in a short amount of time, and didn't spend much of it, so try to ration that out wisely, and hopefully something else will open up for me. Yeah, still got Donk's microphones. I got to bring those back to him. I'm surprised I haven't heard. I expected to get those back to him on Friday afternoon, so it's Sunday. I'm surprised he hasn't been blowing up my phone about it, but I know he knows I'll take care of his stuff, and it certainly did come in handy last night. So, yeah, rest of my equipment that stays there. Already dropped off my computer at home because I do want to do some more work on my music library. Always. So, for those who aren't familiar with it, my karaoke hosting has an online songbook. It's on songbookdb.com. That's songbook, DB as in short for database.com. When you get to the homepage, when it asks for the DJ code, my DJ code is Dan, DAN, all one word, no space. I know it's in all lowercase, but I don't think it's case sensitive. I've noticed that iOS always wants to capitalize it, and it seems to work fine, even if I don't back it up and switch it to lowercase. So yeah. Or you can also go directly to it at http://songbookdb.com/books/Dan. That takes you directly to it. I like the digital songbook. It does frustrate me that people who are picking out, most people will pick out a song that I have, and I have a very, very good selection of karaoke. But I do occasionally have people that are asking for stuff, particularly newer hip hop, just because it's so random, like what is and isn't available in that genre for karaoke. I get people that if they write down, like, I just generally tell them, hey, song title, artist title, whatever you want, just write it down. If they hit me with a couple of things that shows me that they're so far outside the box of like what is generally available for karaoke, I'll usually at that point try to point them to the, it's like, hey, at this point you really need to, not every song exists for karaoke. I have a pretty good selection of everything that does exist, but you're probably going to need to, you're going quite outside the box, so you're probably going to need to go to my website and browse at what's available. And it never fails. Those are the people that just can't be bothered to do that, or for whatever reason can't figure it out, which blows my mind, because I find that, like, I first discovered that site when I was going to karaoke over at I'm trying to remember the name of the bar, George and Dragon. Paradigm Karaoke was operating the show. In fact, I think they still do the karaoke there to this day. And it was one of their, hired hosts that was there, and I went in and just was so impressed with that interface. And they actually didn't have people write stuff down at all. They had it set up, SongbookDB, you can set up kiosk mode where people can actually use the website to make their song requests. Now, I have never enabled that, and the reason I don't is because one thing I frequently would see happen at that show is two problems, things I don't want to deal with at my show. One, I would see people put in songs for other people that don't want to sing that song, like thinking it'd be really funny. Like, hey, let's put in Dave for Wham! Wake You Up Before You Go Go. Haha, that'd be really funny. Dave doesn't want to sing at all. And there ends up being this whole delay in the show, and then the intro of the song starts, and either Dave gets on the microphone and then gets upset because he didn't want to sing that song, or he just absolutely refuses to get up or whatever, but it ends up taking time out of the show, sometimes several minutes out of the show, while other people who do want to sing are, patiently waiting for their song. It disturbs the flow of the show, and that's just something I don't want to happen at my shows. So that's the primary reason I don't enable being able to request your song from SongbookDB from the website, as opposed to having to write it down and hand it to me in person. The other reason is that I've seen, and usually the hosts are pretty good at catching it, but sometimes they don't. I've seen where somebody will try to cheat the rotation to get in extra songs and not have to wait their turn for their next song by putting in multiple songs and putting down a different singer name for each song. So they'll be, they'll be singing as and be announced as one name, and then 4 songs later they're singing again, but they were announced as a different name. And I understand the host not even realizing it's the same person. I mean, shit, to me every white girl under 30 looks the same, just about, So, like, I can't tell Becky and Heather apart, So if she comes up and her name is Becky, and she comes up 4 songs later, her name is Heather, I'm just thinking that's Becky's friend. So, anyway, yeah, by actually having personal contact with the singers, I received their slips, and also being able to look at the handwriting, see, matching handwriting. I prevent that from happening, and that's super frustrating. When you're patiently waiting your turn to sing, when you see somebody go up and sing, and then you still haven't got to sing yet, and then they're back up singing again like 4 songs later. It's extremely frustrating. So yeah, it's the 2 reasons I don't enable that. But Songbird DB is capable of it for those who do want to use that feature. So yeah, I didn't like that, but I did like the fact that they had a couple laptops in the bar where you could just browse it, or you could go to the website and browse it on your smartphone, and absolutely love the interface. And I've been using it for many years now. Anyway, yeah, it seems like the people that just can't, they just picking out songs that are so far off the beaten path that they really do need to look and see what's available. Those are the people that absolutely can't be bothered. I want to say they can't figure it out, but honestly, I just think it's sheer laziness of just not even wanting to try. But I definitely had somebody like that last Thursday at Bullock's. Oh my gosh. Went by the name of Stack. Probably do a story about last Thursday at Bullock's, another video about it, and just tell the story specifically of Stack. I saved his karaoke slips just to share with the world. He kept writing down the slips, and I told him numerous times, I need you to write down the artist and the title of the song you want to sing and your name. I could make out his name. I could make out Stack. It was not good penmanship, but I could make that out. And he also told me his name was Stack, so I'm kind of looking for that. But on not a single slip that he ever gave me could I make out an artist and a title. In fact, most of them, I think I might have them. Bullock's Hell Night. They're in this bag. Some other ones. Here's one. Can we get that? Can you make that out? Anybody read that? See some scribbles. I can see Stack, although somebody else said it looked like Shack. And the bottom word looks like it might say Rudy, but I couldn't make that out. Anyway, he had some other slips. They were all pretty much like that. And of course he was black and pulled a race card on it. Well, he's not letting me sing because I'm black. Which is really funny because almost everybody else who was singing was black, and I wasn't not letting them sing because they were black. So simple logic would probably dictate that that's not, whatever the reason is, I'm not letting them sing. That's not it. And I think he kept coming up, and eventually like security intervened, because he's just all up in my grill, and I showed it. I said, he won't let me sing. I've been waiting and waiting and blah blah blah. And I'm like, I keep telling him I can't read his handwriting, and so both of the security people looked at it and they couldn't read it, and several different people that were there, that he's complaining to and trying to get them to rally against me because I'm racist and won't let him sing apparently. They're all looking at it. None of them can read it either. And he's like, well, and props to the one of the security guys that offered to write it down for him, because I could read his handwriting just fine. And of course it ended up being a song that I don't have, that I couldn't get. And to be fair, I didn't do an exhaustive search for it, but I spent enough time looking at what is and isn't available for karaoke. There's certain stuff that I can just kind of look at it, and I know that the likelihood of me finding it are slim to none. And if I'm super, super busy, I'm not going to put a whole lot of effort into looking for something that I'm not likely to find. So anyway, he ended up, he got super frustrated, and I told him, it's like, there's a, if you go to a website at the front of the book, you can browse the songs I have available. And he just had this super frustrated look on his face. But I guess if he's too illiterate to operate a pen, I am asking a lot to ask him to operate a website. But anyway, so c'est la vie. Anyway, I am almost to Bullock, so I'm gonna end this here. Not sure why you listened to 26 minutes of me rambling about the stupid shit, but hey, here we are. There will be more. I appreciate I appreciate everybody who actually watches these, and like and subscribe, blah, 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 blah. If you do actually find any of my stories interesting, and there's things you actually like to hear more about, put it in the comments. I really don't know where I'm going with this series of videos, but I enjoy telling stories about things that happen, and mostly this is what's on my mind, which lately has been, the DJing the wedding thing, and the taxi thing, and the recent misadventures in karaoke. But I've been on this planet almost 51 years. I got lots of interesting stories and not so interesting stories, from my days in radio broadcasting to, I could do loads and loads of stories of bizarre things that have happened at karaoke shows, and oh gosh, I could probably do a whole series of just stories from behind the wheel of a cab. I've had so many crazy experiences behind the cab. I should really, behind the wheel of a cab, I should write a book. I've been stabbed, I've had guns pulled on me, I've had people have sex in the cab behind me. I've had sex in the cab. I've driven some very extremely famous people. In fact, one of the coolest passengers I've ever had in my cab was John Popper from Blues Traveler, and that's quite the story in and of itself. And interesting fun fact about John Popper is he was my first passenger ever as a driver for Allstate Cab, and he was my first passenger ever as a driver in the city of Tucson, cab driver in the city of Tucson. So pretty crazy way to start my tenure at a new cab company in a new city. So anyway, fun times. Anyway, I'm here. I'm wasting time, and you've wasted a whole lot of time even listening to this. But yeah, if there's things you'd actually like to hear me talk about, or do videos about, by all means, hit me up in the comments about that. Anyway, thanks for listening. Have a good day.